a day America will never forget. Nearly 4 years ago, a mob of protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, refusing to accept the results of the election. It was violent and it was deadly.
You better run, cops!
We hadn't seen anything like it. And since that dreadful day, nearly 1,300 people have been charged for their part on that assault of our Capitol. At least 4 protesters and 5 police officers died as a result of the events that transpired that day. Harry Dunn remembers it well. He was there protecting the Capitol, and ever since then, he's dedicated his life to ensuring a day like that will never happen again.
If a hitman is hired and he kills somebody, the hitman goes to jail. But not only does the hitman go to jail, but the person who hired them does. There was an attack carried out on January 6th, and a hitman sent them.
Now, the man who incited that mob will be our president once again and says he plans to carry out his campaign promise to pardon all January 6 rioters for their crimes. Joining me now, former Capitol Hill police officer Harry Dunn. Harry, good to see you again. It's so hard looking back at that video. I can't even imagine what it's like for you because you've worked so hard on getting past that, moving forward and healing. But I've got to ask you, what was your first reaction when you heard special counsel dismiss the January 6 case against President-elect Donald Trump?
Here, good to be with you. It was a gut punch, but I expected it. That's why I believe Donald Trump was running to be president of the United States, not to actually do the job, but it was for self-preservation of him. And he knew that once he won, if he won, when he won, that he would be able to fire Jack Smith and stop the investigation into him. So it was a gut punch, but I had kind of been preparing for it since he was elected president.
So now Trump plans on pardoning those rioters for their actions that day. Gut punch number 2?
That's another thing. That's kind of he talked about it along the campaign trail, and that's one of the reasons why I continue to use my voice to be out there on the campaign trail to push back against it. Those people weren't peaceful. The people that attacked police officers aren't patriots. They aren't hostages. They attacked police officers, and it's a disgrace to think that they could be pardoned. Now, he hasn't been too clear about where he stands on who is going to be pardoned. He just, issued it, a blanket statement. He hasn't got into the details of it. That's we'll just wait and see kind of thing. But the fact that there are discussions about people who attacked police officers, violently assaulted officers, are at the opportunity to be pardoned. That's it's almost a slap in the face even more.
And pardoning January 6 rioters, what kind of message does that send to any potential violent offender?
If they, you said, I'm glad that you say any potential offender. If they act in Donald Trump's name, that there's a possibility that they will be forgiven. And that it's allowed. If you do it in Donald Trump's name, it's okay. And that's the message that it sends. It's really disgraceful to think that, like, if that video you're showing, if those people were supporters of Joe Biden, do we have this discussion about Joe Biden pardoning them? I don't believe that we do. But Donald Trump has talked about his loyalty. He wants people to be loyal to them. And he rewards that loyalty even with bad behavior.
He also talked about Insurrection Day as a day of love. So how are you going to continue to try and stop this false narrative of what really happened on January 6th?
Well, I'll never stop being out there telling my story, telling the stories of officers who fought to defend the Capitol, to defend democracy. It wasn't about Republican. It wasn't about Democrat. It wasn't independent. Speaker Pelosi and Mitch McConnell were protected just in the same manner, even though they're, ideologically not aligned. So it didn't matter. It was just about protecting that seat of government, protecting the people inside that building that we were sworn to protect, no matter if it was a D or an R next to their name. It wasn't a day of love. Donald Trump may have loved what he saw that day, but I'll always continue to push back and tell the truth about what happened that day. And it was an attack. It wasn't a peaceful protest. Now, sure, there may have been people there who were peacefully protesting, but you showing the videos, it's people were attacking law enforcement. So yeah, I'll keep pushing back against that all the time.
Harry Dunn, good to see you. Appreciate your time today.
You too. Happy holidays.